Hello one all, it's your My Hero Academia Vigilantes, Chapter 87, Ripper vs. Rapper. And this chapter just did an absolutely amazing job of showing what kind of hero O'Clock is. Sure, he's, a bare-knuckle boxer, brute type, but he's also an incredibly gifted and brilliant strategist and critical thinker. I mean, at the end of the last chapter, when he lost his knife and his mask, I remember thinking to myself, well, that's kind of weird. I thought he was a better fighter than that after the whole, debate over the knife. He just ended up losing it. That's weird. That was planned from the very beginning, or at least, after he finished analyzing the Rapper and realized just what kind of fighter he was. The knife, it would have just gotten his way, and that heavy mask would have obstructed his field of vision and gotten in the way of his breathing, which, super important when you're a speedster who requires, a whole lot of oxygen to the brain so he doesn't pass out and die. Very important. And even getting hit and pushed back was part of his plan to set up some distance between him and the Rapper. This whole thing is less like a fight and more like a game of chess. But then he decides, this isn't going to work exactly how I want it, so I'm just going to brawl this dude instead. And oh my freaking god, this shot of him, every one of the Rapper's blows being dodged or pushed to the side, it looks so freaking amazing. I am kind of wondering if the Rapper was starting to question how his blows were being, deflected here. It's clear from the lightning going around O'Clock that he's using his speed quirk here, so is Rapper figuring that out, or are they just thinking, wow, he is really good at dodging? I'm curious about that, though I guess he wouldn't necessarily need to use the speed quirk to accelerate his body so much as his mind. I mean, if you're able to accelerate your mind to the point where you can see punches coming at you in slow motion, it's not that hard to dodge them while moving, at regular speed. So that might be what we're seeing here, though I do still have the announcer. The Rapper's never-ending rush is like a runaway locomotive, and even without his knife, the Ripper's coping. He's defending, standing his ground. Are we watching a god in action? Yeah, I'm sure to the crowd, this is like the greatest fight they've ever seen. Even, in a world of superheroes. And again, even while all this is going on, O'Clock is still analyzing the situation. Realizing, okay, this guy's quirk, what it is, how it works. There's a lot of wasted movement here and all that, but they're precise, they're repetitive, and they're working on reflex alone. He's not even thinking about it, he's just swinging with all he has. And seriously, the Rapper here just looks so overwhelmingly happy during this fight, and I just feel so bad for him. O'Clock goes down on purpose, so that he can go to the med room where he can get his hands on the super important, super illegal quirk enhancers, but oh god, the Rapper was just having so much fun. He wanted the fight to keep going. I wanted the fight to keep going. I am really, truly hoping, said this last week, that we get a Suicide Squad thing with the Rapper in it, just that he can keep fighting, just so that he can keep having this much fun, fighting for the sake of Japan and the world. Please let that be a thing. I want it so badly after, this fight ended in disappointment for him. Anyway, so he's taken to the loser room, and that's where they're going to experiment with the illegal quirk enhancers on him, and I just want to throw this out there. I really, really don't think it's the case, but do you think he ends up using the quirk enhancer? Like, maybe he develops an addiction to it, and that's what eventually leads him down the road of having his quirk stolen and, his life destroyed, his daughter kidnapped? I mean, it seems very unlikely. He's all about his critical thinking, his body, and, stopping the sale and trading of illegal drugs, but what if he ends up needing to take in order to escape, the underground fighting masquerade thing, and he ends up, getting addicted to it, and that leads to a whole bunch of problems and destroying his life? That'd definitely be an unexpected twist at this point, but one I would actually really like to say. Anyway, yeah, moving on to the thing that really, really got fans excited. In the middle of this, huge boxing match in the underground fighting ring, suddenly we flash over 3 girls who are on a school trip from a hero school in Hiroshima, and one of them is a little bit odd, a little bit different. Her face is turned. She's wearing a takoyaki helmet on her head, and, she smells blood, and she gets super excited, super happy about it, and she dashes off to go figure out where exactly that smell is coming from. And then, last page, we find out that was good old Mirko. Mirko? Mariko? I don't actually know how to pronounce her name, so let's say Mirko. And she is very, very excited at the thought of having some fun with some villains right here now. Yeah, that's definitely, the battle junkie attitude of hers that we all know and love. And, she just looks so absolutely freaking adorable as a schoolgirl. So yeah, a lot of fan excitement over her appearing in Vigilantes. I am kind of curious if she's gonna end up ruining O'Clock's plans or saving him. Because I feel like, he intentionally snuck in there so that they wouldn't, run so he could get the information about the drug and be able to track it back to its source. And if she, comes in and starts just beating up everyone around her, well, assuming she has a hero provisional license, which I'm going to guess she does at this point, otherwise this will all be super illegal, then, that could ruin his plans. Or I guess it could be the case where she creates enough of a distraction that he's able to, get the information he needs and get out of there, maybe? Oh, God. Mirko versus the rapper. Oh, that'd be a fun fight. That would actually be a really fun fight. And I'm curious, a lot of people are saying, oh no, if she appears here now, that means she's going to die in the main series. It means it's going to be real that she's an evil spy or this or that. And I really don't think that's the case for a whole lot of reasons. But if she knew the rapper, if they met in like the underground fighting ring thing, then that would make a lot of sense, if he appears to go save the day in the main series right now. And she's like, hey man, long time no see. We gotta have a rematch. I know I'm missing like several limbs here, but I'd still love the chance to fight you again. I could certainly see her saying that. Just very curious about that. Also, we meet a young fat gum, and oh my god, I absolutely love him. He actually, in the hoodie and the knee pads, he's definitely giving me like Crawler vibes. He reminds me a lot of how Koyuchi is dressed right now. I'm not really sure if that's intentional though. It would be funny if we ended up seeing, Koyuchi or Pop in this flashback. Like, maybe he gets involved in this somehow, as the villains are, escaping, fleeing, whatever. They take him hostage and Fat Gum ends up saving him. It seems unlikely because, he has met Fat Gum in the future. I don't think he really recognized him, but I don't know, that'd definitely be funny if, he based his outfit, his look off of Fat Gum a little bit. Again, very unlikely, I just want to throw it out there. So yeah, really fun chapter. We got a good look at what O'Clock is really capable of when he was, at his best. And next chapter, we're going to find out more about the quirk enhancers. I mean, this was... How far back is this flashback? This flashback was from 7 years ago from the Vigilante timeline, the main series, which is a year or two after this. All Might says he was injured 5 years ago, so All Might is still, up and running at this point. And that means All For One is as well, at his full strength before All Might took him down. So he definitely is playing a more active role, probably, in these quirk-enhancing drugs, I'm guessing. I mean, I'm fairly certain at this point, All Might and his doctor are related to the quirk-enhancing drugs and all that. I mean, it's possible that they aren't, and just, O'Clock 2, Rock, whatever you want to call him, managed to get involved in it on his own after he escaped from the lab. I'm still very, very curious about his backstory and, who he was, how much relationship he actually has with All For One. Is he working for him? Is he doing his own separate thing? Because I don't think All For One would be letting him go, this crazy and wild on his own. He prefers to, work from the shadows. Just curious about that. Anyway, I'm very excited to see how young Mirko does when she breaks into an underground fighting tournament. Again, I would love to see her fight the rapper and just recognize him if he comes back in the main series. That would be such a great connection between the two. A lot of people are wondering if we're going to see other young heroes in this flashback, and if this does end up becoming, a full-out brawl in this underground fighting ring, I feel like they're going to need a call for backup from somebody. Young Endeavor, young All Might when he was still, in his prime. I mean, who else is there? I mean, yes, there are a whole lot of options, but who would make the most amount of sense appearing in this flashback? I'm just not sure. Aizawa didn't seem to recognize Knuckle Duster as O'Clock, so I'm guessing, he's not going to meet him here in the underground fighting ring. Actually, I think it would be interesting if Endeavor does show up, because, if he and Knuckle Duster, O'Clock, whatever, are friends with each other or aware of each other, then maybe he'll be more willing to forgive Koyuchi in the present. I just want to throw it there. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. Mirko, is she gonna, ruin his plan or make things go better for him? Think he's gonna be taking the quirk-enhancing drug in order to get out of there? Probably not. Just want to throw it out there. But yeah, let me think all that down below. Be sure to like, subscribe to this video. And until then,
peace.